Hey, what's up, guys? Give me 1 second here and let me get this ready to go. Okay, basically, I'm putting together this little video here to outline basically how I do my analysis. Um, how I plot my zones, things like that. And lastly, I really want to talk about compound interest because I feel it's really important to really understand how the numbers play out so you could really have the discipline and the patience on a daily basis to understand what it is that you're actually shooting for, rather than kind of aimlessly trading and just trying to make money. Like, if we really understand how the percentages play out and what we really need to target on a daily basis, the whole game changes. So I really want to talk about that today. And I really want to talk about, obviously, analyzing a chart too. So we're going to start out with the analysis because I feel like that's a little bit more simpler. And this pair here is a USD Jappy. We're going to start out on the weekly and then probably go down into like the 4 hour or something like that. So pretty much let me take this thing off. Pretty much the thing that I want to bring your attention to is start really looking at these areas where price bounces. From here, here, like just all these little random spots that price bounces, and then basically what we really want to do is try to piece it all together and kind of develop a blueprint of where price plays, So, for an example, right around here, we can see over here, it's support, resistance, heavy resistance. Look at this drop, So it's not surprising that this happened here. This happened twice here. It's kind of just using that same methodology. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do right now. So let me draw it in real quick. So to me, this is pretty much the zone I would want to be watching for. I mean, we've seen two touches here, this touch inside of here, price holding here, support, kind of support in this general area. If you want to pull it slightly higher, you possibly can, to just capture all the wicks, I guess. So the next step is really finding, okay, well, where is support going to be? Is it going to be there? Because resistance is here, support's there, support's here, resistance there, kind of, who knows? You know what I mean? So this is what I do. I go out through the chart and I start plotting the major points where I see things like just happening. That would be the next kind of little area to watch for, and then pretty much the last one I see would be right around here. Good little zone there. And that's whatever we see on our eye, okay? It's nothing is set in stone. It's a process to analyze a chart. You're not just gonna come on here in 2 seconds and be able to, dissect it. So that would be the first step, right? Now the next thing I want to do is really start applying my fib levels and really seeing where my kill zones can be if anything's matching up here. So pretty much what I want to bring your attention to, for if there's anybody in the group right now that isn't familiar with doing the Fibonacci, like, I really want to try to show you this would be an A point and this would be a B point, and maybe we're trying to predict a C point. Or maybe this is an A point, maybe this is a B point, this is a C point, and then it's going to come down here and do a D point to fulfill the move. Now the thing is I don't really care what direction it goes into. We're going to be prepared for both directions. So whether the market's doing this and it's going to fulfill that ABC or ABCD, or whether it's coming down into here and it's going to go like this, doesn't matter. So we're going to be prepared for both things. Obviously the market looks like it's falling right now, so we want to be looking like, you know, selling with the trend. You know, that's what we want to be doing. Um, so that's what we're going to do there. Now, the next thing I want to do is look at where we are right now. We already did, like, you know, our major high resistance, our major supports, you know, on the weekly, but I also want to look at where we are right now, you know, because technically we're sitting right in here, right? There's some support here, some resistance here, some support here, kind of support here, some resistance here, and resistance there. You know, so basically what I want to do is start outlining where we are right now. And how I do it is I'll go to the body of the candle, and I pretty much want to come up to the wick here, you know. So boom, body of the candle right there, and I'm going to capture the wick, and then I capture the wicks to the left. So bam, you know, we look right, boom, support kind of in here, kind of like, you know, some consolidation there, support when the bucks captured it. Let's see. And clear resistance here, and that's, you know, that's where basically price is reacting right now. Let me see. So that's pretty much that. You know, there's no moving averages, no nothing. We applied some zones. We realized, okay, the market's pretty much in a bearish momentum here. It just reacted from this zone, coming down to this one, and maybe it may retrace up and give us an opportunity to sell in, or maybe it's going to keep falling here and give us an opportunity to buy. We don't know. Our main objective is not to try to predict. It's to figure out where the hell these order blocks are at, you know, wait for price to get there, and wait for a reaction, you know, whether it's like a pin bar, whether it's a, you know, bullish engulfing here, you know, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. We want to look at this clear pin bar. We want to wait till price comes to these areas, and we really want to see how it reacts. It's pretty much on you to judge whether or not you think it's going to bounce when it gets there. You know, it's on you to really do your homework as far as candlestick analysis and things like that, to understand, you know, what it looks like before it does make a move down, or whatever the case may be. So that brings us into the daily, right? Because I use a number of things. I look at candlestick patterns. I do look at moving averages here and there, like generally the 50 or the 200 EMA, sometimes the 20 EMA, just to see where they are in correlation with my analysis. For an example, like I'm already done with my analysis, right? I already know I want to sell. I already know I'm looking for a move, you know, maybe back up into here before I consider selling this, and I want to sell into this zone. That's already my analysis. I already know that. I don't have any indicators on my chart. Okay, just the RSI occasionally too, you know, that's the only one, but I'm going to take it off just to show you guys, like, you know, I don't really use anything, to be honest. It's more like just how is it matching up with what I have, you know, because I know a lot of people look at certain indicators, so I like to kind of understand where, okay, people who are trading Fibonacci are taking a position right now. People who are trading counter trend shit, you know, are going to be taking a position, or maybe clearing profits in the same area that I want to sell, you know, just things like that. You know, you want to always kind of be one step ahead to understand what multiple people are doing, so you're not just kind of in a sense looking at your strategy, you're looking at multiple strategies. Let me send this to the back so we can see what's going on. Okay, perfect structure resistance here, right? We had this move kind of come into here and come back, and now it's going down. Perfect pullback into that area of past resistance as well. Also some support in here. You know, can't draw with this shit very well, but you can see here resistance, support, 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 resistance, resistance, resistance. You know, just honestly keep your charts very clean. You know, that's why I don't really use support and resistance lines anymore. I like really using you know, these zones, because you never know exactly where it's gonna happen. I can't put a line here and say, hey, it's gonna happen on the dime right there at 110, 700. You know, you don't know that it's gonna happen there. So the better, to me, the better thing to do is to have the zone of where it could potentially happen and wait for the signal. You know what I mean? Because you don't know if it's gonna happen here, here, or where it's at. You know, or if it's even gonna happen. You don't know that. So that's the best advice I can give: is do the zones, capture the entire area that it could reverse in, let it go in there, let it show you, let it give you a reason, and then get into it. You know, that would be the best advice I can give. Now, let me go back to the weekly chart real fast because I wanna go over the fib stuff. I want to actually see, like, you know, what numbers would play out here. So remember I said there's two different possibilities of ABCD patterns. I want to go A to B because this is the lowest point, this is the highest point as far as this impulse move that just happened. You know, as far as we're concerned right now, that's what's happening. Now what I will say is I'm more concerned about this zone here and this bottom zone, because I know those are going to be the final spots that price goes to. So I will plot a line here, you know, because I'm really concerned about that bottom point. You know, I'm not too concerned about this because I'm probably not going to take that trade or that buy. You know, I'm just not really interested in, you know, unless it really sets up nice and it has a double bottom or something, or whatever the case. So pretty much too, what I'm doing now is I see this, you know, that ABC pattern. Like, where is that going to terminate? Harmonically, we can measure it, right? Let's measure this move, measure down into here, and let's see where this idealistically should terminate. It's saying right here in this kind of area, and we have some sick resistance, some support kind of, and resistance here. So maybe that's a possibility. Who knows? Now I'm going to get the fib extension and measure the same exact thing so I can understand where the extensions are. And look it. I'm not doing this shit on purpose, guys. Like, I didn't analyze this before, and, you know, this is Sunday and I'm doing my analysis right now. Look, we put the extensions on. The 127 is perfectly in this zone here, right there. So I am going to look at that because it may bounce there from here back up into here to give us that opportunity to sell it, you know. So I will look at that. I also want to be looking at this. So you're always going to be making adjustments to your charts. You see how I just made that adjustment right now? I moved it here because the 618's there, and that other fib level was here, and I'm still capturing my wicks. So it's an evolution, you know. As you're digging deeper, you're going to make a little adjustments and move things around. I don't really use trend lines too much, you know, just to be honest with you guys. I'm not really too crazy about them because they're very subjective. You know, the support and resistance line is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's going to go straight across, and you're going to see it actually, you know, price is going to react to it and be bouncing off of it. So to me, I really like using support and resistance. It's just very clear. It's not subjective. I mean, price is either reacting to this level here, you know, here, kind of supporting there, or it's not, you know. And that's it. You can't bullshit support and resistance line. It's holding. Okay, it's very clear. But a trend line, you know, I can sit here and say, hey, maybe there's one there, or maybe there's one here, you know, whatever the case. It's just, so to me, it's subjective. And for something that's kind of scalable, you know, you want it to be pretty straightforward. I mean, if you're good at them, then you're good at them, and you can do it and use them. You know, I could use them if I wanted to. I just, being honest, to me, they're subjective. To me, they're subjective, and sometimes it could look like you have something, and then other times you don't have shit. So it's just kind of like playing that game back and forth. And to me, I don't like playing that game because it's not something I could repeat on a daily basis and just keep it simple for myself, you know. So what I want to do now is go ahead and delete all these lines because I fucking hate lines on my chart. I like my stuff to be clean. I showed you guys exactly how I got these areas, you know, and that's that. Let me see real quick. There's also one last thing I want to do, and that's the line chart for analysis reasons. I don't encourage you to cripple yourself and instantly go to a line chart, you need to understand how to plot these zones on a regular chart too. You know, you can't just go straight to a line chart and then try to use that as like a crutch, you know. But pretty much the line chart's going to be calculating the close of each candle. Why is the close important? Because that is where the price was at the end of the day or the end of that quarter, and that is where it finished at. And that's a pretty fucking big deal, because obviously people, you know, adjusted it, bought and sold to where they think it needed to be, you know. And these areas, you're going to realize, you know, they occur a lot, you know. So for right here, look at all of these prices that closed here. Look at all these prices that closed here, or are in the general area. Look at all these prices that closed here, and this is on a weekly basis. That means that whole fucking week needed to end there, you know. Right here, price kind of closing here, support, resistance, resistance, kind of some support here, some resistance here. Obviously that's where we're moving away from, and probably moving into this next zone down here, you know. And like I said, you could have came here, you know, and probably just did this pretty quickly, but the thing is you don't understand why you're doing it. And to me, that's what's important. You know, if you understand how to come to a chart like this and plot the zones with your eye, you know, because you see this resistance, you see the support, you see the support, you see the support, you know, resistance, support, resistance, resistance, support. You know, if you can see these things with your eye, then, I mean, obviously you're really making some serious progress there, you know. And that's obviously your skill set developing, and that's what to me is important, you know. Being able to come on here and at any fucking time find a trade, you know, and do what you need to do. Now, point is obviously this pair is bearish this week, you know. You don't need to put on anything else for us to see that it's bearish, you know. It's heading down into this zone here, or maybe it's going to head down into this one, or maybe it's going to do something like, you know, bouncing between the two, you know, come here, come here, come here. Or it may fall straight through and go up, or it may come in here and go down, you know. So we want to be prepared for everything. We don't really give a shit, you know. And that's the thing I would really give advice to as well. Just don't try to predict. Just plot your zones, wait for price to get there, wait for it to give you a reason, and that's it. Don't guess, just react, you know. Just react to what's happening. You already know where these reactions should take place and where the highest probability zones are, and that's it, you know. So if we come to the 4-hour chart right now, you know, I'm not going to get into it too much, but there's the ABCD completion here, boom, 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 and there's kind of another pattern here that's completing as well. So we might see this right here push up maybe into here, or maybe even to here, hopefully. You can see this pin bar and these kind of bullish candles that are forming, like it's gonna maybe start to put in a retracement there, which would be ideal for us to take that sell entry. You know, so that's pretty much the gist of it, you know. That's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, just keep it simple, guys, for analysis. Like, this is support here, this is resistance area, this is a resistance area. Like, you want to sell from the highest highs and buy from the lowest lows. You want to skew that risk to reward in your favor. So, I mean, you can be wrong here and there, or, you know, even fucking half of the time, and still make money, you know. So that brings me to my next thing. Yes, I'm aware that this video is a little bit longer than normal, but that's because I really wanted to drill in here and show you guys, you know. So just keep it very simple, man. Go to the higher time frame charts, look at it, you know. Keep your eyes open. There's a reaction, there's a reaction, there's a reaction. You know, it's harder to tell right here because it's just fucking messy, but there's a reaction here. Price, you know, pushed through, came back, retested a little bit, and shot up. There's some support here, you know. Clear evidence of resistance here. Look at this fucking pin bar on the weekly. Came back up and tested it again, and now it just is falling, you know. And it's coming where? Maybe into here. There's a reaction here, there's a reaction here. This is kind of messy, but you can see those two things, you know. We look left, major reaction, you know. So it's not nothing too complicated, you know. Don't make it complicated, you know. We want to make it just simple so we can do this shit day in and day out, and just make what we need to make on a daily basis, and that's it. So I feel like the analysis is pretty straightforward. I feel like you guys will really find this helpful, and I feel like hopefully this would help you make some more money. So what I want to get into next is compound interest. Okay, so there's this website called forex21.com. You go on there, you can come to free tools, Forex compounding calculator, and that'll bring you to here. Now, why am I here? Why am I talking about it? For a long time, when I first started trading, I always thought trading in itself was what was going to make me money. Or that's what I don't know really what I thought. I just got into trading. I knew you could make money, but I really didn't understand how the fuck, money was really growing, or how I was really going to position myself from a small amount of money to a lot of money in a matter of a few years, or however long it took, So basically right now, what I really want to outline is you guys don't need to do it. This is a plan that I created for myself a while back, to kind of help myself stay disciplined, but I pretty much take one trade a day. Just one trade a day. I risk 1% and I shoot for a minimum of 3%. Now, how does that all break out, or why does it matter, or whatever the case? I'm going to break it down to you guys. Let's imagine, okay, you start start with whatever money you want to in your head, whatever you have saved up or whatever. And you probably think, okay, well, with one trade a day, that's not going to fucking make me money. That's not going to get me where I want to be. I need to be more active. I need to do this or that. The thing is a compound interest is how we make our money. We exploit trading as a vehicle to make compound interest. Some rich people develop finance companies and they give out loans and they make compound interest, or whatever the case is. That is the main factor here of how we make our money. So we really need to understand how the numbers play out. So from a day-to-day basis, we know exactly what we need to do to get to where we want to be, right? So, okay, one trade a day, 1% risk a day, or potential profit of at least 3%. So let's just say it's a 1 to 3 all the time. Just to keep it simple. Obviously sometimes you might get lucky and it might be a little bit more. You might make 5 or 6, or whatever the case. But let's just say 1 to 3 right now. We're taking one trade a day, okay? Just follow along with me. Throughout the week, obviously that's 5 trades total, right? So total net loss that you can incur on your account in that week is 5% negative. Let's say you stick it at a 1 to 3. The profit potential that you have for that week is 15%, right? Assuming you were right on all of them. Now, let's say that you're not right on all of them. Let's say, in fact, you're only right on half of them. So let's say you're right on two and a half trades out of 5 trades. That's going to equate out to 7.5% in a week, because your whole profit potential was 15% for that week. So half of that, it's not that complicated. Okay, so that's 7.5%. 7.5% times 4 weeks in a month is what? 30%. Right? 7.5 times 2 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. Okay? You're taking one trade a day, 1% risk. So you're not fucking blowing accounts here. You're looking for the one best decision that you can find every day. Now, how is that helping you? It's helping you to stay disciplined so you're not over trading. And it also forces you to really find the best trade you can find, because you can only take one a day. So it really makes you a fucking animal, because you're not just sitting here pulling the trigger on anything you see. Now, 30%. You can make 30% a month on your money, taking one fucking trade a day, only risking 1% a day. Now, why does that matter? And that's assuming you're only 50% right. What happens if you screw your risk to reward of 1 to 4? What happens if you're 60% right, or even 55% right? How does that affect all your numbers? Work it out, so you understand. Fuck, if I make this little adjustment, or if I stick, to this one trade a day, and then I'm putting away $50 a week, put together a plan and really start working out the numbers, and you could really understand how you can get where you want to be. But I will tell you this, doing the same shit every day and expecting a different result isn't going to get us where we want to be, period. you know? So this is why I'm here, because I really feel like just a lot of people don't understand how the numbers actually play out. And I feel like when we really spend more time in educating ourselves in that, we're really going to understand what we need to do on a daily basis to get where we want to be, rather than aimlessly trading and wasting our time. Okay? So let's say we just started out with, I don't know, let's say like 3,000 bucks, right? You work your ass off, you save up 3 grand. You know, anybody can save that up, bullshit aside. You know, even if it takes you a few months, right? And let's say we're doing the 30%. Okay? Nothing crazy. And let's say, you know what, I'm gonna fucking dedicate myself to this shit for 2 years. You know? I'm gonna dedicate myself to this shit for 2 years. I'm not even gonna put any more money in it. I'm just gonna leave this 3,000. I'm gonna let that compound, and I'm gonna see what I can do in 2 years. Just taking one trade a day, that ain't stressing you out. Take your trade, go about your business, work your day job still, do whatever you want to do. You know? Build another fucking business, whatever. Where will this be in 2 years? $3,000, not making another dollar, not putting another dollar inside. You know, just strictly following your plan and consistency. One trade a day. Look at this shit. 1.6 million. $1,628,402. And here's how it breaks down. You know, month one, look at that. Plus 30%, you make $900, totaling you $3,900. You start month two with $3,900, you do the 30% again, and now you're at $5,070, so on and so forth. And the numbers play out to this. In 24 months from right now, you could have a net worth of $1.6 million from 3 fucking grand. 3 grand. Okay? What happens if you want to go 3 years? Right? And you're not going to touch it, you know? Just let it grow. You're going to hustle this shit out for 3 years, and then you're going to live the rest of your life however the fuck you want to. But let's say 3 years. Boom. I don't even know how fucking huge this number is. It's almost 38 million. $37,938,655. From $3,000, only taking one trade a day with a 1% risk, and not fucking over leveraging and blowing your shit out, you know? 1% risk a day. Minimum risk to reward 1 to 3. You could be half right on your trades and still make 38 million fucking dollars in 3 years. That's not counting the people that you're going to talk to and people that are going to hear about what you're doing and want to invest money with you. Who knows where you can be? Let's just do one more year. 4 years. 30%, 3,000. Not putting another dollar in. Where are you going to be at? Look at that shit. $883 million. Almost $884 million. You're almost a billionaire in 4 years off of 3 grand. Taking one trade a day, only risking 1% a day. You're almost a fucking billionaire. I'm not lying to you guys. The numbers are right here. The thing is that people don't take the time to understand how these numbers play out. They don't understand how to manage risk. They don't understand the long-term plan. They don't even understand how these numbers play out and how to do these equations. You know? And I'm not saying this to talk shit to you guys. I'm saying this to wake you guys up. Because it doesn't matter what you have in your account right now. You can make a lot of fucking money. Look at this. 4 years from now, you could be a billionaire, dude. You could shut up every fucking person that has ever doubted you in your life in 4 years. By a long shot. They won't even be able to fathom how you did that shit from 3,000. Consistency, discipline, patience, and a fucking plan. And actually put your time in to understand, how am I managing risk and why am I managing risk that way? What's the point? What's my goal and why am I shooting for that goal? How does that play out? You know, understand the whole plan first, and then you know what you need to do. You know, it's not just, we can't just hop into the market and say, hey, I want to trade and I want to make money. You got to have a plan. You got to know what the fuck you're doing. It takes time. It takes time. But when you don't have a plan is when the anxiety kicks in because you're worried. You don't know how it's going to pan out. You don't know where you're going to end up. Now you know where the fuck you're going to end up if you stay disciplined and you stay patient. And day in and day out, you keep your mind grounded on this plan that you have. That's only taking one trade a day. Take two if you want to, maximum. These numbers will potentially double. Or even if you're fucking not even 100% there, you know, they're going to be slightly better. Or they could be slightly worse if you're wrong, you know, who knows. But the point is work out the numbers for yourself. Really understand how these things play out. Take the time to sit down on this compound interest calculator and really start playing with how much money you have, how active you're trying to be, and develop a plan. So you actually have a means and a way to get it done and to get where you want to be. You know? I really care about you guys, man, and this is why I do this shit. I don't do this shit for nobody. Very few people even know I trade, honestly. I put it out there slightly. You know, I don't really care, man. You know, it's a lonely world. It's a lonely business. Most people aren't about their fucking shit. They're not. You know, they're not even going to believe you can do this. They're probably just going to talk shit and be negative. You know, I'm telling you guys because I really want to show you this stuff. We're all in this together. You know what I mean? And that's that. So I have no issues showing this stuff to you whatsoever. You know, I want us all to succeed. And look, in 2 years, man, not stressing yourself out, not raising any funds, not building a business, not, adding any more of your money, and just that initial $3,000, one trade a day, 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, being 50% right. That'll earn you 30% a month. Do that for 2 years, and you're gonna have $1.6 million. And let's just say you take that 1.6 million, right? And let's say you only make 10% on it because you want to trade chill and you don't want to do anything anymore. You want to relax. You know, 1.6 million, 10% return on that is 160 grand, right? That you're making in 1 month. Trading very chill. Maybe taking only like fucking 2 trades a week or something like that. You're making 160 grand 2 years from now. You could literally blow 80 grand fucking however you want to, not having any regard for it. And then taking that other 80 grand, that other half of what you made that month, and reinvesting it and putting it back into your fund and keep building the shit out. You'll never go broke. Have a plan. Have a plan. I can't stress it enough. And love yourself, man. Be fucking positive. Love yourself. Be grateful that you're still in it right now. Be grateful you're still watching this fucking video. Be grateful you have the strength to keep pushing. Most people quit. Most people give into their emotions. You know what I mean? So stop focusing on the stupid shit that isn't empowering you, and start focusing on the things that do empower you. Even if it's only one reason or one thing that you like about yourself or that you think you can do. I don't care, dude. Focus on that. Put these numbers in front of your face every day so you understand that it's possible. Don't be negative. Don't get sad over a little loss or whatever the case is. If you're managing a risk effectively, those things aren't going to happen. You know? But here's what I will say to you. If you do this, not only will you hit this fucking goal in 2 years, but I promise you, everybody around you is going to throw money at you when they see your life changing, when they see you actually fucking doing this, when they see that you're actually a professional. Money's going to be coming at you left and right. And if this is what you were able to do in 2 years off of $3,000, imagine when you just get your client that gives you 100 G's or even 50 G's, or you get a millionaire client that wants to invest a lot more. Who knows? The opportunities are endless, and you got to realize your power. You got to realize your skill set. You got to realize how to maximize on it, or it ain't gonna do shit for you. And if there's anything that I learned from my music ventures to this, is that so much can be done in a period of time if you have a plan and you have patience and you are consistent. You know, in a year or two, you can't imagine the shit that you could accomplish if you actually just do a little bit every day. But if you're going to consume your mind and have all this shit in your mind and, you know, be unclear and unfocused and not have a clear, decisive path that you're on, in 2 years, you could, at the same time, not accomplish a thing and feel like you're in the same fucking place. You know, so that's why I suggest slow down, love yourself, you know, love what you're doing, appreciate, you know, how far you have came, and just keep pushing. That's the only thing you can do. If your situation sucks, if you got dealt some bad cards, you can't change anything. You can't change what's already happened. You know, if you're going to sit and complain about things that are going bad for you, you're only taking power from yourself. The moment you say, I don't give a fuck what has happened to me, I'm still going to get what I want, the game changes, because you're not a victim anymore. You don't give a fuck what happened to you. You're still going to get what you want. And that's what matters. So I hope this video helped you guys. I really, really fucking do. I don't get to do them all the time, and I really, you know, I care about you guys, man. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I may not be able to do it right away, but it's something that I'll have in my mind, and I will get to it, you know? So I hope this helps you guys. Please, man, if you have feedback, any questions or anything like that, reach out to me. Let me know. You know, it means a lot. You know, plus I know how to adjust things and come back on the next video and make it better. So with that being said, you know, enjoy your weekend. Let's have a great week. And let's just keep rocking, man. Let's stick together. And, you know, this is our family. We got to take care of each other. You know what I mean? Some people come in and they're active and they come out and who knows what happens. You know, we got to fucking stay there for each other. You know, if you're focusing on yourself and you keep moving forward, other people in the group are going to see that and they're going to want to follow you, or they're going to get inspired too. Like, hey, you know, fucking Kendrick's tearing it up, or this or that, or, you know, Seth is tearing it up, or whatever the case is, you know, doing analysis all the time. Marquis always putting fucking charts up. You know, it's like, we got to have that interactive stuff happening, you know? So anyway, guys, once again, have a good trading week. And let's kill it, man. Let's do it.